never saw him coming. A man with no superpowers, no gods behind him, no light to guide him, just rage, loss, and a mind sharper than steel. Batman didn't rise because of hope. He rose because there was nothing left, and he made that nothing powerful. They told you to hold on. They told you to wait for the light. But what if the light never comes? What if no one's coming? What if all you have is the darkness? Good. Because that's all you need. You don't need hope. You don't need saving. You need a reason to stand in the fire and not flinch. You need to become the kind of person who fights, not because there's a chance to win, but because losing doesn't scare you anymore. There are people who only move when the sun is out, when it's easy, when the path is clear. But then, there's you. You move when it's chaos. You train when your hands are bleeding. You keep walking when your legs scream to stop. Because unlike them, you don't wait for light to guide you. You learn to move in the dark. Hope is a luxury. Light is a privilege. But discipline, that's yours. Pain, that's yours. And when everything else is stripped away, your fear, your comfort, your illusions, you're left with something most people never find: clarity. Because when you're in the dark long enough, you stop looking for a way out. You start building a way through. You stop begging for mercy. And you start becoming something merciless. They don't understand that. They think you're numb. They think you're cold. But the truth is, you're focused. You're not waiting to be rescued. You're not praying for someone to find you. You are the one who becomes the storm. You are the one who walks into the nightmare and doesn't blink. They keep telling you, keep going. There's light at the end of the tunnel. But Batman, he never needed the end of the tunnel. He became the thing that walks inside it. You don't need the end. You need the fight. Understand this. The world will not hand you closure. No one will give you peace. And hope is fragile. But will is unbreakable. You will be broken. You will lose people. You will be left in the dirt, forgotten. And still, you rise. Not because someone told you it would get better. Not because you believe in fairy tales. But because deep down, you already made a decision. If there's no light, I'll still fight. That's what separates you from them. They need motivation. You need mission. They want comfort. You want control. They seek peace. You seek power. The kind that's earned in silence, in suffering, in war. You trained in the shadows. You bled in secret. You lost everything. And still, you sharpened your mind like a blade. You became the one thing no enemy ever expects. A survivor with nothing left to lose. That's the most dangerous kind. You don't need a reason anymore. You don't need applause. You don't need a hand on your shoulder. Because once you learn to fight in the dark, really fight, the light stops mattering. You become the thing people fear in the dark. You become your own answer. You become your own weapon. But this doesn't end with power. Power fades. What lasts is discipline. What carries you through is choice. You choose to fight, not once, but every single day. No cape, no signal in the sky. Just blood, scars, and silence. And still, You get up. You get up when it's hopeless. You get up when it's pointless. You get up because you no longer care how it feels. You care what it makes you become. Bruce Wayne buried a child in that alley. He buried innocence. He buried comfort. And in that grave, he built something stronger. He didn't heal. He didn't move on. He weaponized the pain. And when the world gave him nothing, he gave it something to fear. So now it's your turn. This is not your movie moment. There's no background music, no cheers, just pain, silence, and the weight of what you've lost. Good, because that's the place where real warriors are born, not in the light, not in glory, but in the dark, with no hope, no promise, no one watching. You rise, not because you can. You rise because you have to. You rise because nothing else is left. And somehow, that's enough.